Hello students, in today's lecture we will solve some practice questions based on moving charges and magnetism. Part 1. Disclaimer: the images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So, in today's lecture, we will cover practice questions from 1 to 10. So, chapter is moving charges and magnetism. Question first. Question is a loosely bound helix made of stiff metal wire is mounted vertically with the lower and just touching the mercury in a disc. When the current from a battery is started in the metal wire through the mercury, then the spring is what? Given options. Option A is the wire oscillates. Option B, the wire continues making contact. Option C, the wire breaks contact just as current is passed. And option D, the mercury will expand by heating due to pass of current. So, which options is correct? Option A, option B, option C, and option D. You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 second, we will provide the solution of this question. Let's find the solution. So, according to question, loosely bound helix made of a stiff metal wire is mounted vertically with the lower and just touching the mercury like this. This is a helix and this just touching the mercury. This just touching the mercury. When the current from a battery, this current I is started in the metal wire through the mercury. This is mercury. Then spring is what? So solution is loosely bound helix get compressed when poses current. So connection of mercury lost and demagnetization take place. Clear? Means when current is possessed this helix, the connection of mercury get lost and demagnetization take place. So result is a oscillatory motion. It means there will be a oscillatory motion. So correct answer is this. The wire will oscillates. Wire oscillates. This is the correct option. Clear? A option is correct. Next question. Question second. Question is a current I flows through a closed loop as shown in figure. This is the figure and current I is flowed in this loop. The question asks the magnetic field induction at the center O. This is center O is what? So question asks about the magnetic field induction at the center. Given options, option A is mu naught L theta divided by 4 pi r. Option B mu naught L divided by 4 pi r theta plus sine theta. And option C mu naught L divided by 4 pi r pi minus theta plus sine theta. And option D mu naught L divided by 2 pi r pi minus theta plus tan theta. So which option is correct? Option A, option B, option C, or option D? Which one is correct? You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 second, we will provide the solution of this question. Let's find a solution. So according to question asked about the magnetic field induction at O. This is the center, and here the magnetic field induction is what? Which is asked in this question. Clear? So we know the magnetic field induction due to this straight wire is 0, because this is a straight wire and angle make is 0 or 180 degree. In that case, the magnetic field induction due to this straight wire is 0. So remaining terms or remaining, this one is, so magnetic field induction due to this loop is, we can calculate 2b naught is equal to b pqs pq pqs. Let there are 3 points. This point p, this point q, and this point s. So magnetic field induction at point pqs plus bsp. bsp. This one. This is s. So calculating this, you will be get mu naught divided by 4 pi multiplied by I divided by r, 2 pi minus 2 theta plus mu naught divided by 4 pi 1 upon r cos theta. Clear? So calculate this term, you will be get mu naught I divided by 2 pi r, pi minus theta plus tan theta. So magnetic field induction at the center O is this one. This is the magnetic field induction at the center. Mu naught I divided by 2 pi r, pi minus theta plus tan theta. Okay. So this is just formula based question. Or we know due to a straight wire magnetic field induction is 0. So correct option is D. This one is correct. Clear? This one is correct. Next question. Question 3. The magnetic induction at the center O in the figure as shown is what? This is the figure, and question asked about the magnetic induction at center O. And this is the radii for this loop, and this is radii R2 for this one loop. Given options, option is mu naught I. This is mu naught I divided by 4, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2, and option B mu naught by 4, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2, and option C mu naught I divided by 4 R1 minus R2, and option D mu naught I divided by 4 R1 plus R2. So which one is correct? You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 second, we will provide the solution of this question. Clear? Let's find a solution. So question asks about the magnetic induction at O. So we know magnetic field due to a straight path, this straight path, this one, this is a straight path of the wire at point O. This point O is 0. Clear? This is straight wire, and this is also a straight wire. So magnetic field due to this straight wire, this one and this one, at the center is 0. Clear? Because the angle here is 0 degree or 180 degree. That's why magnetic field due to a straight wire at the center O is 0. And magnetic field due to a semicircular current loop, this is the semicircular loop of radius r1, this one here, radius r1 of this semicircular loop, the magnetic field b1 is equal to mu naught I divided by 2r1 pi divided by 2 pi, which is equal to mu naught I divided by 4r1. So this magnetic field is due to a semicircular loop of radius r1 into the plane of paper. Clear? Because here the direction of this loop is clockwise. That's why here magnetic field into the paper. And field due to the semicircular loop of radius r2, for this one radius r2, this semicircular loop, b2 is equal to mu naught I divided by 4r2 outside the plane of the paper, because direction here the outside the plane of the paper, because in this loop in of radius r2 the direction is anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. That's why the magnetic field outside of the plane of the paper. Clear? So we have to calculate net field. B is equal to B1 minus B2. This is the net field at the center O. So mu naught I divided by 4, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon my R2. This is the net magnetic induction at the center O for this semicircular loop having radii R1 and R2. Clear? So correct option is A. A is correct. This one is correct. Mu naught I divided by 4, 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon my R2 is the correct. Next question. Question 4. Question is, a electron moving in a circular orbit with a uniform speed v. It produces a magnetic field B at the center of the circle. This is the center of the circle. The radius of the circle is proportional to what? Which is asked in this question. So this is the circular orbit, and this electron is moves in a this circular orbit with speed v, which is given in this question. So we have to find the radius of the circle, which is proportional to in what quantity. Given options, option A is v by v, option B v by r, option C under root v by b, and option D under root b by v. So which option is correct? Option A, option B, option C, and option D. You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 second, we will provide the solution of this question. Let's find the solution. So according to question, this is the circular orbit of radius r, and an electron is moving in the circular orbit with velocity v. So we have to find radius of the circle is proportional to what? So we know equivalent current I is equal to EV divided by 2 pi r. Clear? This is the equivalent current formula, EV divided by 2 pi r. Clear? This is 2 pi r is the circumference of this circular orbit. So hence magnetic field at the center of the circle is this, B equal to mu naught I divided by 2r. This is the magnetic field at the center of the circle. This one. Clear? So I is this EV divided by 2 pi r. When you put this I in this formula, you will be get mu naught divided by 2r multiply EV divided by 2 pi r, which is equal to mu naught EV divided by 4 pi r square. This one. So r becomes under root mu naught EV divided by 4 pi v. It means r is directly proportional to under root v by b. Clear? R is directly proportional to under root v by b. Here, this is the velocity, or this is the magnetic field. Clear? So correct answer is C. This one is correct answer. Clear? Next question. Question 5th. Question is, the magnitude of magnetic field B due to loop, this loop A B C D, A B C D at origin O, this is the origin O, is what? So this is diagram, and question asked about the magnetic field at the center. Clear? Given options, option A is 0, option B mu naught I B minus A divided by 24 AB, option C mu naught I divided by 4 pi B minus A divided by AB, and option C mu naught I divided by 4 pi 2 B minus A pi by 3 A plus B. So which one is correct? You have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will provide the solution of this question. Clear? Let's find the solution. So this is a loop, this first loop AD and second is BC. So we have to find net magnetic field at the center due to these loops. So we know the magnetic field at the center due to this straight wire, this one AB, due to this straight wire AB and this straight wire DC is 0. Clear? Due to this straight wire, this one and this one is 0. So net magnetic field due to loop ABCDA at origin is this one. B is equal to magnetic field due to AB, this AB, plus magnetic field due to this BC, this one, and magnetic field to loop CD, this one CD, and magnetic field at OA. OA. Clear? So B equal to this one. After calculating all these terms, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and adding all, you will be get B equal to 0 because due to this straight wire, and 0 for CD due to this straight wire is 0, and remaining terms this one for BC and OA is this mu naught I divided by 4 pi A multiply by pi by 6 and mu naught I divided by 4 pi B multiply pi by 6. So calculating this terms, you will be get mu naught I divided by 24A minus mu naught I divided by 24B. Here A is the radius of this loop and B is the radius for this loop. So final calculated answer is mu naught I divided by 24AB B minus A. So this is the correct option. B option is correct and this is the correct answer. Clear? So B is correct. This one mu naught I B minus A divided by 24AB. Clear? Next question. Question 6. Question is a current I flows in an infinitely long wire with cross section in the form of a semicircular ring of radius r. The magnitude of the magnetic induction along its axis is what? The question asks about the magnetic induction along the axis is what? Given options, option A is mu naught I divided by 2 pi square r. Option B mu naught I divided by 2 pi r. Option C mu naught I divided by 4 pi r. And option D mu naught I divided by pi square r. So which one is correct? You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will provide the solution of this question. Let's find the solution. So we know the current I flows as a infinitely long wire of cross section in the form of semicircular ring radius r, which is given in this question. Clear? And we have to find magnetic field induction at along its axis. So consider the wire to be made up of large number of thin wires of infinite length, and consider such wires of thickness dl subtending an angle d theta at center. This one, this is center and subtending an angle d theta. So current through this wire di, here we calculate for the small di equal to d theta I divided by pi. So magnetic field at the center due to this portion dB equal to mu naught 4 pi multiply 2 di divided by r is equal to mu naught I d theta divided by 2 pi square r. So net magnetic field at the center is what? So we have calculated from this one. B is equal to mu naught minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. dB cos theta. This is the net magnetic field at the center. Clear? So solving this term, you will be get mu naught I divided by 2 pi square r integration minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cos theta d theta. This one. Clear? So solving this term, you will be get final answer, which is mu naught I divided by pi square r. This one. Clear? So this one is the correct answer. So correct option is option D is correct. This one is correct. Mu naught I divided by pi square r. Clear? Next question. Question 7. Question is two coaxial solenoids of different radii carry current I in same direction. Let F1 be the magnetic force on the inner solenoid due to the outer one, and F2 be the magnetic force on the outer solenoid due to the inner one. Then which option is correct? Option A is F1 is equal to F2, which is equal to 0. Option B, F1 is radially inwards and F2 is radially outwards. Option C, F1 is radially inwards and F2 is 0. And option D, F1 is radially outwards and F2 equal to 0. So which one is correct? You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will provide the solution of this question. Let's find the solution. So consider two axial or coaxial solenoids. Consider two coaxial solenoids. Due to one of the solenoids, magnetic field at the center of the other can be assumed to be constant. And due to symmetry, forces on upper and lower part of a solenoid will be equal and opposite, and hence resultant is 0. So F1 equal to F2 is equal to 0. So this is the correct explanation. Clear? So answer A is correct. F1 equal to F2 equal to 0. Clear? Next question. Question 8. Question is, an infinitely long conductor PQR is bent to form a right angle S on figure A. A current I flows through PQR. The magnetic field due to this current at the point M is H1. Now another infinitely long straight conductor QS is connected at Q, so that the current is I by 2 in QR as well as in QS. The current in PQ remaining unchanged. The magnetic field at M is now H2, and the ratio of H1 ratio H2 is given by what? So which one is correct? Option is 1 by 2, option B 1, option C 2 by 3, and option D 2. Clear? You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 second, we will provide the solution of this question. Let's find a solution. So this is magnetic field at any point lying on the current carrying straight conductor is 0. Clear? Note down. Magnetic field at any point lying on the current carrying straight conductor is 0. Here H1 is equal to magnetic field at M due to current in PQ. Due to current is PQ. This PQ. And H2 is magnetic field at M due to QR. This QR, and magnetic field plus magnetic field at M due to QS. Magnetic field due to QS plus magnetic field at M due to PQ. PQ. So adding these three all terms, magnetic field at M due to QR plus magnetic field at M due to QS plus magnetic field at M due to PQ. So the answer is 0 plus H1 by 2 plus H1, and solving this term you will be get 3 by 2 H1. So question asked about the ratio. Ratio of H1 ratio H2 is what? So H1 divided by H2 is equal to 2 by 3, means 2 ratio 3 is the correct answer. Clear? 2 ratio 3 is the correct. 2 by 3 is the correct answer. Clear? Next question. Question 9. This one. Question is, for a positively charged particle moving in xy plane initially along the x-axis, there is a sudden change in its path due to the presence of electric and magnetic fields beyond P. The curved path is shown in xy plane and is found to be non-circular. Which one is the following combinations is possible? Which given options? Option A is E equal to 0, B equal to Bi cap plus C K cap. Option B, E is equal to Ai cap, B is equal to C K cap plus Ai cap. Option C, E is equal to 0, B equal to C J cap plus B K cap. And option D, E equal to Ai cap plus B equal to C K cap plus Bj cap. So which one is correct? Option A, option B, option C, and option D. You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will provide the solution of this question. Let's find a solution. So electric field can deviate the path of particle in shown the direction only when it is along negative y direction. In the given option, E is either 0 or along x direction. Hence, it is the magnetic field which is really responsible for its curved path. Option A and C cannot be accepted as the path will be helix in that case when the velocity vector makes an angle other than 0 degree, x-axis degree or 90 degree with the magnetic field. So path is a helix. And option D is wrong because in that case component of net force on the particle also comes in a k direction which is not acceptable as the particle is moving in xy plane. Only in option B the particle can move in xy plane. Clear? So in, in option B F net is equal to QE plus QV cross V. This is the net force formula. So initial velocity along x direction, let V equal to Vi cap. This is the initial velocity. And F net is equal to Q AI cap plus Q V I cap plus C K cap plus B J cap. This one. So solving this term, you will be get Q AI cap minus Q V J cap plus Q V V K cap. So in option B, this is F net is equal to this one. Clear? This one. Q AI cap plus Q multiply में Vi cap cross C K cap plus AI cap. This one. So QAI cap plus QVJ cap is the correct answer. Clear? So correct option is this one. B option is correct. Clear? B option is correct. QAI cap plus QVJ cap. This one is correct. Next question. Question 10. Question is a magnetic field 4 into 10 raised to the power 3 kilo Tesla exerts a force this 4I cap plus 3J cap into 10 raised to the power minus 10 Newton on a particle having a charge 10 raised to the power minus 9 coulomb and going on xy plane. And the velocity of particle is what? So in this question asks about the velocity of the particle. Given options, option A is minus 75 I cap plus 100 J cap. Option B minus 100 I cap plus 75 J cap. And option C 25 I cap plus 2 J cap. And option D 2 I cap plus 25 J cap. So which one is correct? Option A, option B, option C, and option D. Which one is correct? You have a 10 second to solve this question. After 10 second, we will provide the solution of this question. Let's find a solution. So this is the formula for the Lorentz force. F is equal to Q V cross B. Clear? This one. Q is equal to V cross V. Lorentz force. And F net force is QE plus QV cross V. So we know F is equal to 4I cap plus 3J cap into 10 raised to the power minus 10 Newton. This is the force which is given in this question. This one. And Q is equal to this and B is equal to this. So all quantities are given. We have to find the velocity of the particle. So after putting all the given terms in the formula this, you will be get 10 minus 10 raised to the power minus 9 AI cap plus BJ cap into 4 into 10 raised to the power minus 3. So solving this, we get A is equal to minus 75, B is equal to 100. So V is equal to this one minus 75 I cap plus 100 j cap. Clear? So this is the velocity of the particle. V is equal to minus 75 I cap plus 100 j cap. Clear? So correct answer is this one. V is equal to minus 75 I cap plus 100 j cap. So this is the velocity of the particle. Clear? And this is the method solving this question. Clear? Thank you.